things first. I wanted to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for showing up to celebrate her life. And this is our third time in 6 years, so we gotta stop meeting this way. Hopefully I don't see you again. Oh, okay, somewhere else. I'll get with that. So to get started, and I want you to know that belly laughs were a big part of.
Hey, bro.
That was for Dad. If you saw the pictures in the video, you either saw her with a smirk on her face or her doing a belly laugh. It was always one of those. She was always happy and smiling, and I know she's sitting there right now, hoping that I'm, going to make her laugh one more time. So I'll do my best. But I'm prepared for a struggle. So brought this up here. So if I get choked up and start shooting boogers across the podium, I'm gonna need some help. 2 years and 8 months ago to the day, I sat up here and did this for my father. And every time I started to get choked up, I got a hey bro, which Martha gave me. But I figured when the booger thing starts to happen this time, instead of a hey bruh, I'd get a Joseph Edward. So yeah, Joseph Edward, yeah. Joseph was whenever behavior was at like this level of bad. But when I got a Joseph Edward, I had like achieved the pinnacle. For some reason I considered it an accomplishment. But when I got a Joseph Edward, it meant it's time to stop. I was about to get a backhand from Dad. So Joseph Edward, that's what will help me get through this. So 7 months ago.
Already, Joseph Edwards?
Thank you. Damn it, we're faster than that. She passed the cancer surgery test with an A+. I mean, within 48 hours, she was running around in the kitchen and, wondering, should you even be standing up right now? And she was bubbly and happy. And, 2 days ago, we were worried about her colon cancer surgery. And this woman just bounced right back. So I didn't think, we'd be standing here. I thought she had another at least 10 years. So it was truly shocking, to find her on Monday. So I want to give her the tribute and celebration worthy of this angel on earth. Well, now in heaven, which is I think where they're supposed to live. So, okay. Looks like a lot. There's a big font. Getting old. So, also, you can probably tell, one of my favorite pastimes over the past 57 years has been making her laugh. One of the things...
Joseph Edward.
Thank you. I'll miss more than anything is the sparkle in her eyes when she laughed. And usually it was right after something inappropriate that my dad said, but I've done my best to carry that tradition along. And my attire today was really to celebrate her. Thought about wearing the same thing I wore for solidarity that I wore at my dad's funeral. Then I figured, I'd be like pretty for my mom. So and she wanted the pink casket, so I went with the pink shirt. And I got Lululemons on underneath my Sika pants. Because it's going to be really cold out there. Thank God for Lululemon. But seriously, truly, thank the Lord. I had the last chance that I had with her on Valentine's.
Come on, buddy. Come on, Joseph Edwards.
Thank you. Y'all can all chime in. Last Thursday, I was able to see that sparkle again a few times. Didn't expect to be standing here. Thank God that we had that experience together. She was the most vibrant and happy that I had seen her in a while. And I even told Gina it felt like she was at a high water mark with health and happiness. And so when I showed up, I got there about 4:30 to take her early to the casino so that she could put some money in the slot machines before we went to dinner at Vic and Anthony's. And when I showed up, she had just put on these new shoes that helped her feet. And she turned all the lights off before I got there, which was weird. That would never happen. So I walk in and go, why are the lights off? And she did that to scare me. So I walk into the kitchen and she goes, boo. And I turn around and, you know, she was just so energetic and living and showed me her shoes and did that little wiggle that she does. What's my new shoes? And she had a cute outfit on. Well, that whole evening, she...
Joseph
Come on,
Edwards.
Joseph Edwards.
Thank you. She gripped my hand. Now, this is taking longer than I expected because all the Joseph Edwards, but I'll get there. She gripped my hand as we walked from the car at valet to the casino, and then after we gambled a little while. We gambled longer than expected because she won. So she kept winning. So we went past our reservation time, and I finally said, Mom, our reservation was about 30 minutes ago. And she goes, oh, okay, let's go do that. But she held my hand. Usually she holds my arm like an escort, but she grabbed my hand this time between every stop and was gripping it the whole way. And didn't really think anything of it until Monday. And I thought, looks like she had a premonition. You know?
Joseph,
So, thank you. So this is my last chance to try to see that sparkle again and see her off with a few laughs that I know she always enjoyed. So I want to list a few words that remind me of Mom. Humble, respectful, loving, nurturing, resilient, giving, efficient. Thought that was my dad, but then I found out it was her too. Tolerant, selfless, and then most of all, angel. So I want to focus for a minute on that last word, angel. I wanted to go with something on the lighter side, but something that I also truly believe, especially after I asked ChatGPT. So I asked ChatGPT, I asked him, her. So ChatGPT was born in California without a gender, right? California, no gender. Well, you know, me and Mom are both pretty sturdy, non-woke Louisiana Republicans, so we're going to give her a name. She's a she, and we're going to call ChatGPT Ellie after Mom's mom, Eleanor. So I asked Ellie, ChatGPT, Ellie, about angels on earth. And Ellie needed some training, so like all AI models, you gotta give her some training. So I described Mom to her much like I'm describing her to you now. And the words I mentioned above. Then I asked Ellie, is it possible that my mother was an angel on earth? And by the way, Ellie, what is an angel? So this is what Ellie said. Okay. Angel on earth, per ChatGPT. In many religious and spiritual traditions, angels are believed to be divine messengers or protectors, beings of light and love who watch over humanity. They are often seen as intermediaries between heaven and earth, offering guidance, comfort, and protection. But in a more human sense, angel is also a way we describe people who embody the best of what it means to be loving, caring, and selfless. People who bring light into...
Come on, Joseph Edwards.
Joseph,
Joseph Edwards.
Bring light into the lives of others through their kindness and compassion. Based on the way you describe Patricia, it sounds like she was that kind of angel. Someone who lived to love, nurture, and care for her family with all her heart. So if an angel can take human form, I think it's safe to say your mother was one. She was your family's angel, and though she may not be physically here anymore, the love she gave so freely will always surround you. So Ellie's pretty good. The key word to me in all that is selfless. And after reading Ellie's response, I know my mom's an angel.
Joseph Edwards.
Joseph,
Come on,
Edwards.
At 30 years old, in 1967, she and Dad adopted me. Then a few years later, in 72, Martha. took me a while to realize that not every mother was a selfless angel dedicating every waking moment to being a mom. She loved to be a mom. Even through the last moments of her life, she always put our lives first and didn't want to be a burden. On that note, I know that she wouldn't want everybody to stand out at that graveyard and freeze, just to wait for her to be, let go. Although I did wear my Lululemons just in case. So the plan is to do that pretty quickly. I know that she would want it that way. So likely it wasn't until I had kids myself before I realized that we were raised by an angel. I looked in the mirror and said, damn, I'm not one, that's for sure. And, then I could see parenthood through that lens and then look at her and realize, she and my father. I was raised by 3 angels. Her, my dad was one, and one that's still alive. Third one's still raising me. Angelina is Gina's real name. Angelina, kind of angel, didn't realize all this until Ellie taught me this. Mom and Dad always called Gina Saint Gina. Now I know it's Angel Gina. Now, it's not lost on me why they call her a saint or an angel, because she got to deal with my crap. So, I got that part. But Mom's gone now, so you can't go. So I need an angel to keep raising me. Seriously, my mom was an angel on earth, which is the best way I can explain her relentless love and nurturing for so many decades. I never heard her say anything negative about anyone, and definitely not my dad. Never heard them fight, never heard them cross words. It's unfathomable to me that 2 humans can go through that many years that way and have just such genuine love for each other. And now, she did complain about not getting the fancy ice maker, or the nicer floors, which I thought meant that they had like a divergence in their financial strategy until 2 years, 8 months ago. My dad moved on, and I realized they are financial strategy twins. So all that complaining was just probably picking on him, just getting a little backfire on him, because she manages money the exact same way he did. And so he loved to pick on her, so I think, she was just getting me back. If picking on someone was a symbol of love or a sign of love, well, then my dad loved her a ton and loved us a ton. He constantly picked on us. Another tradition I'm carrying forward.
Great.
But as one example that I think is also funny, and I use it when I get a chance. The chances are limited because my subjects are aware of the situation. But my mom was an entrepreneur at the Diet Center for a little while, so she was a part owner of the Diet Center. And she'd come home one day so proud that she had lost weight, to which she gets an immediate response, look behind you and you'll find it. A lot of women wouldn't take that for her. Just said she had a big butt. And, but as always, my mom belly laughed. I mean, it cracked her up as much as it did me. At first I was like, holy, how is she going to react to this? So she's laughing, so then I crack up laughing. So there's not a chance one of my children or wife come home and say they lost weight, and I'm not saying look behind you and you'll find it. They don't ever say that anymore. She knew his intentions and always laughed at his jokes. And, if you knew my dad, they were pretty hard not to laugh at sometimes. But, man, she loved him and he loved her. I mean, I don't mean they were like groping each other on the couch and grossing me and Martha out. Not that kind of thing. It was
What was said?
the right context on that one. You did that for her.
Yes.
So their love was genuine, and their love story amazing. Mom just left us 2 years and 8 months to the day. February 17th, my dad passed 2022, June 17th, to the day that he left. She was so healthy and so happy, I figured she had another 10 years in her, at least. And I think she just didn't want to live without him anymore.
Joseph Edward.
Joseph.
Come on, buddy.
So I know she's happy where she is right now. They first found young love in middle school and then early high school before my mom moved to Monroe. And finished high school. My dad stayed in Lake Charles, so they were apart during high school. But they, first found each other in middle school and through the early parts of high school. They were separated for a few years there, but I look back on it and I bet they were just physically separated. They both reconvened at Louisiana Tech, and while in college, my dad learned that my mom was engaged. That didn't last very long after he learned that. He intervened just in time to shut that down. But found out that as they were talking about weddings and marriage, that if they got married, my mom's dad, we call Poppy, would stop paying for college. So he said, if you get married before you finish college, that's Elron's job to pay for your college. In this case. So in 1957, they said they went off and got married without their knowledge. So they secretly eloped for that reason and still got the college funding. A few months later, yeah, exactly. A few months later, Granny, the real Ellie, that's the real
Eleanor.
called out my mom on the fact that she was already married. And Mom asked, well, how in the world do you know that I'm married? She goes, well, since December, you hadn't said a word about the wedding or marriage. So you guys were obviously married somewhere, in December, around December. And they were married on December 7th. Y'all remember December 7th?
Yep.
Pearl Harbor Day. So my dad always would say, Allen, Stough, and Pearl Harbor went down on the same day. Dude, my mom would belly laugh when he would say that, never offended. So in the middle years, my dad spent a bunch of time at Bundix. Let's say the middle years, like the middle years of our life. A bunch of time at Bundix, and Mom joined for big events like Easter, which we still do today. And a lot of people in the room today convene at Bundix for Easter. All of my dad's siblings and kids, so my first cousins, would all convene at Bundix. So Bundix was a special place for her too. While we spent time there, she played cards. They played Scrabble and games. My mom really loved bridge, and especially since coming back to Lake Charles, she got involved with the bridge club. So thanks to all the bridge folks that are here and that came in over the last couple of days to see her. That really kept her engaged and focused and happy and something to look forward to, and she really enjoyed playing bridge. She was evidently a lot better than we thought she was. Everyone that we talked to here would say how good she was and how she was one of the best, and she always would talk down on her play. And we had no idea that she was so good. I can't imagine a more peaceful and aligned couple, from finances to religion to just generally how to live and how to treat others. Totally aligned. My mom is the last of a Stough generation, with many nieces and nephews that cherished her like their own. And, they don't make them.
Come on, Joseph Edward.
They don't make them like her anymore.
No. Come on, buddy. Come on, Joseph.
On my last page, so we're getting there. Before I say my final goodbye, I want to thank some folks. Johnson Funeral Home folks have been great. Her friends at Bridge and Sorority, like I just said, her nieces and nephews who loved her dearly, and Casey. My daughters know it's no secret that Casey, her real name's Gutierrez, she's lived in Corpus so long she inherited this Mexican species or gender, whatever you call it. I call her Gutierrez, she loves it. Gutierrez was her favorite. And the love went both ways. Mom received as much from,
Come on, buddy. Come on, Jeff. Joseph Edwards.
as much as you gave to her. She cherished every moment with Casey and couldn't help herself but to talk about Casey all the time. And she loved you, and I love you, Casey Gutierrez. And I want to thank God. Also, I want to thank God. Yeah. For turning on the blue light. The Kmart blue light special. That was on my carriage when my mom and dad went into the store to buy the baby. Because they're buying the cheapest damn baby in there. And God flipped my blue light on right when they walked in, so they chose me. And that's why I'm up here giving this eulogy. So I want to thank God for that. I got 57 years with the most amazing mom on the planet. Lastly, Mom, I want to thank you.
Come on, Joseph Edwards.
Thank you for all you've been to me and everyone in this room. Most of all, thank you for being our angel on earth and being the best mom anyone could ever imagine and be blessed to have. Goodbye. I love you, Mom.
Love you, bro.